There's more to imagine when you listen. So let your imagination soar with Audible. Audible has audio titles from every genre that will inspire you to imagine new worlds, possibilities, and ways of thinking. As an Audible member, you get to choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog. Enjoy an exciting reawakening of a beloved classic with the Audible original, David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. Produced by Academy Award-winning director Sam Mendes. Starring Ncuti Gatwa, Helena Bonham Carter, and Theo James. This adaptation breathes new life into a familiar tale. New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/imagine or text IMAGINE to 500-500. That's audible.com/imagine or text IMAGINE to 500-500.
Are you struggling to close deals? Cold outreach is wasting the time of both the buyer and seller at every stage, especially when sellers are using shallow and outdated data. Your organization can overcome these challenges with technology that translates comprehensive, high-quality buyer data into real-time insights. These deeper insights empower sales reps and teams to adopt the habits of top performers, which leads to better outcomes, like more pipeline, higher win rates, and larger deals. We call this deep sales. And we've built the first deep sales platform with the next generation of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/trial. That's linkedin.com/trial for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/trial and get started.
Welcome to How to Survive, the show that teaches you how to survive the things that can kill you.
Like political coups, avian flu.
Oh, gosh.
How about sepsis?
Ooh. And the things that just make you wish you were dead.
Like Tom Cruise love bombs.
Yikes.
Having the talk with your kids. Here's one. How about putting a dead bear cub in Central Park?
With a bicycle?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Is there any other way to do it?
Did he put a fez on it, you think?
Oh, like it was in the circus. Yeah. It was just a terrible circus accident.
Yes.
Well, I get it. Now it's funny.
Yeah. You know what's really funny?
Tell me.
Our theme song.
Play it.
Ground is shaking under our feet. Mountains on fire, flooding in the street. Can't breathe the air, can't fight the feeling. Gobbling down Xanax ain't the way to be dealing. Gotta do better than just getting high. We gotta stick together if we're gonna survive. How to survive. How to survive.
Hello.
Welcome to a very special episode of How to Survive.
Special because we have no guest.
Yeah, we're the guests.
It's just the three of us.
Welcome to us.
Welcome to us.
The specialist.
The specialist.
The most special.
Oh, the specialist. I was like, is that a TV show? That must be a TV show,
It
right?
had to
How
be.
is it not?
How could there not be a show called The Specialist?
Yeah, it's a spinoff of The Mentalist.
In the vein of The Good Doctor,
Yeah.
there's a new doctor show coming on. I'm trying to remember what the twist is. He
He's
can
bad?
see from the eyes of his patients.
No.
Yes.
Really?
I think that's what it is.
So he can just see himself talking to the patient?
I don't know. Maybe he gets inside. Garen, can you look it up? Maybe for what did we learn? There's something about, and it's some actor. I think it's some actor I like, but I can't remember who it is right now.
Michael Keaton.
No, I would remember that. I would
It's not.
remember that.
It's somebody from It's the guy that was on The Mentalist.
It's
probably.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
The curly orange-haired guy, whatever his name is.
That guy,
Blondish.
you know what's weird? One time I was walking through Larchmont.
Yeah.
And that guy was sitting at a restaurant and he thought he knew me.
Are you serious?
I was walking by, I think with Sven, and he goes, "Hey." He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I knew you."
And you're like, no, I know you because you're the mentalist.
And I was like, "No, but I'm glad you know somebody who looks like me and you think it's me."
What was the premise of the mentalist?
He could see in minds. Like he was like
He was a detective or something?
He had psychic powers. I don't know if I ever watched the show. Guys, so much is happening
I
right now in the
know.
world. We have a vice
presidential nominee.
the Tim Waltz, who seemingly doesn't have too many skeletons in his closet.
No.
Just the DUI where he pretended to be deaf.
Wait, what?
Or
wait, tell me. Wait, I don't know anything about this.
He got pulled over. This is, I think, in the very early 2000s when he was a school teacher, maybe running for something.
Okay.
And he was going like 98 and a 65, and they detected alcohol in his breath.
Okay.
I think he failed the sobriety test.
Okay.
But he was like running from the like he sped off from the police because, I mean, it depends on who you ask.
Okay.
Like, I guess he did have a hearing issue that has since been fixed, but he was like, told the police the reason he ran off is because he didn't understand that he was being pulled over. Like,
because he didn't hear the sirens.
The lights weren't on and that he didn't hear it. And so he just thought someone was chasing him and got scared.
Okay.
But
he didn't fuck a couch.
he did not fuck a couch.
Okay.
As the other VP
100%
did, and only thinks about fucking couches. Right. When he's not apologizing for his not white wife.
Yeah.
He's the worst. Yeah, I watched a movie you don't like.
What?
I watched Civil War finally. Oh. You did not like that movie.
Yeah.
Did you?
I did. I watched it on your account.
Oh my God.
Thanks, Karen.
You're welcome.
We were going to pay for it, and then I was like, wait a second. Let me see if I can watch this.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Let me
my
see.
brother bought it on my account.
Oh, okay.
Because they wanted to watch it.
You saw it at the movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you liked it.
I did like it.
But did you see what I mean about all the guys? The guys were dressed like they worked at Trader Joe's. Like they had Hawaiian shirts on.
All the guys.
Like there were these two guys when they were running through one of the buildings.
Oh, yeah, in the war scene?
Yeah.
In
the war scene. Yeah.
The
whole
war
thing,
scene.
yeah.
Yes, I know what you mean. The soldiers that were not in gear.
I was like, those guys need to tell me where the JoJo's are. It's almost pumpkin JoJo time.
Hey, do you guys have the brie? The baked brie?
Yeah, do you have the baked brie?
No, it's not close enough to Christmas. All right.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm going to blow your head
I'm
off.
engaged in gunfire right now. I can't help you find your Oreos.
Where's the spanakopita?
Listen, guys, I have a story for you.
Oh, right.
I have a story for you. All of you. Not just the two of you.
Everybody.
Everybody listening. Listen. So, did I or did I not mention the hatchery in my home on this show?
I don't think you mentioned it on the show.
Do you know about it, Garen?
Think so. What's a hatchery? Like eggs?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so did I tell the story about that Benji tried to hatch a pigeon egg when we were in Germany?
No. What do you mean? Did he sit on it?
Well, no, I
tried to
had
hatch
to
it.
put it in my vagina.
This is my egg now.
Okay.
Well,
Gwyneth Paltrow recommends that.
yeah, you know, I get all of my medical information from Goop and Beauty. So
Can we just say how gross a name that is also?
it is.
Goop.
Does it stand for something?
Gwyneth omnipresent ovarian pussy? I don't know.
Paltrow, probably.
Paltrow, yeah.
But yeah, I think you nailed it. Well, that's what it is.
Maybe her middle name is O and she didn't want it to be GOP.
True.
So she called it Goop.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, all right, I'll try to lay this out and not make it a 2-hour story. First, he came across a pigeon egg in Germany and was like, I will hatch this. I am rescuing this. It was abandoned. Okay.
How does one know it's abandoned?
I don't know that. It was in Sven's parents' backyard. It was not in a nest.
Oh, okay.
And it was determined there was no nest around.
Okay.
So
How did he know it was a pigeon egg?
Sven knew. He is an expert on
that's right.
things of this nature. So they were like, I'm going to rescue it. I'm going to make this hatch. This is, every child's dream. Every 11-year-old. I did this when I was a kid.
Really?
Yes. I tried to save 2 duck eggs. And I kept them in my room in towels in my dresser drawer until they rotted. So
barf.
This
Okay.
was his idea, and Alex crocheted him an egg holder because she had her knitting needle, her crochet hook, and her yarn, and it was really soft chenille yarn, and it had a top that opened.
No.
So she made it at a top. So the egg, it fit perfectly.
Oh my God.
But we were leaving for the island the next day. They brought it. So we took the egg to the island. Anyway, didn't work out. The egg did not survive.
Okay.
But they went online to research how to do this. And they could it's called candling, where you take a really bright light and you look under the egg for growth inside the egg.
Yes.
So they used our phone lights to do this. In their research, they came across a man who did this with quail.
Okay.
He had a pet quail that was his best friend. They had a very amazing, loving relationship.
Okay.
And he had done this raising an egg from quail eggs he bought at the grocery store.
And the eggs you buy at the grocery store are supposed to be for consumption.
Yes, we've eaten them because Benji has gotten them he loves to go to Asian supermarkets and buy interesting things that he's never had before.
Right.
Or sometimes he'll come home with a lobster.
Gotcha.
He'll be like, oh, look at these mushrooms. They're really cool. And, he'll cook things from the Asian supermarket when he goes. So he was like, I really want to do this. I really want to do this. Do you think I could do this? And we were like, oh, you mean just buy some eggs from the market and raise one?
Yeah.
Sure. Because we were like, that's not going to happen.
Right.
This guy bought so many eggs and so many tries until he finally...
So how does this happen? How do fertilized eggs get in with unfertilized eggs?
Well, apparently sometimes one just makes it through. Because also, quail eggs, when we buy our eggs, they have to be refrigerated, right? Because they go through a process where they're not fertilized. And when you buy eggs, though, from the farmer's market, you don't have to refrigerate those.
Right. You told me that, which I did not realize.
So quail eggs, you don't have to refrigerate those. They're not going through the same process of the eggs we buy. And so I guess once in a while, one can make it through.
But I'm saying, like, birds have sex, right?
They do their cloacal kiss. Right. Yeah.
So they let the breeding... and I'm sure they're not called that, the breeding hens in this with the rooster, even though the hens are made for
legging eggs.
Legging eggs.
Legging eggs.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is an
They
area
just sneak in and they have sex.
I'm not going to know how to explain this part. We would have to do some research.
Okay, so sometimes a fertilized egg gets in with the food egg.
Sometimes this happens. So Benji says, is doing all this research. Every time he gets his hands on one of our phones, he's just looking up this stuff. And he's like, so I want to get one of these hatcheries.
Right.
And we have told the kids if they are good behavior, they get a reward at the end of the trip. Alex wants a Brandy Melville gift card. No problems with that.
Nope. Sounds perfectly healthy.
Boy.
Always.
I've done some research on that, by the way. And I have a lot of thoughts. Anyway, Benji wants this hatchery, and they're like, you can buy them on Amazon. They're like $20.
And they're specifically to hatch quail eggs or any eggs?
Egg eggs, right? So it's people who want to fertilize egg. They put their already fertilized eggs in there.
They're putting all their eggs in one basket.
They're putting their eggs in one basket. It doesn't fertilize the egg. The egg's already fertilized. So what it does is it's heated to like 95 to 100 degrees. It spins the eggs.
Whoa.
They're in it has a little dome on it. It's like Stephen King's The Dome.
I don't know that reference, but that sounds great.
It's a dome. They can't escape. It spins every, hour once.
Okay.
It has a water bottle that makes humidity go inside of it. So it creates humidity. And you can also spray it once in a while, right?
Okay.
I don't do any of that.
This is to replicate the womb or
the mom sitting on it, maybe.
Right, of course.
Right?
Right.
It's heat and comfort, warmth. I don't know. The spinning is what the spinning is. So the movement. So we're like, sure, because we're like, he's going to buy some eggs. It's going to fail. He's going to buy some more eggs. It's going to fail. He's going to become bored with this.
You saw it at a garage sale.
Yeah, and because he's like, well, we better get a hen house.
Oh,
for the back where you used to garden, but you don't do anything back there, Mom. And I was like,
I have a podcast.
I have a plan. I was like, why don't we hold our horses a little bit and we'll take it as it comes.
Okay.
So off they go to camp. And our plan is we're going to have sex on every surface, right?
Sure.
They're at camp every day. Sex.
On the hen thing.
On the hen thing, on the litter box.
Yeah. How's that going?
We
watched
some movies.
We watched Civil War.
We watched Civil War and then just banged all night. War. It made us so horny. So yesterday morning, Sven woke me up. I don't need to get up. Why is he waking me up? Kris, there's a quail.
No.
And I go, what? You're kidding me. No, come look. So we go out to the little dome.
Yeah.
He lifts it up and there is a bird, quail, jumping around.
No.
All the eggs.
No.
Chip, chip, chip.
Oh, it was already totally out of the shell.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Jumping around, crying.
Because it was stuck in the thing, right? Oh my God.
So I put it in my hand, and it's like, then it got quiet because it was like, oh, my mom.
Was it so cute? Oh, it's imprinting.
Yeah, no, I think I'm its mom. So cute. It's like the size of a golf ball. It had been
Oh my God.
born and hatched. There was its little egg. I don't know how it came out of that small of an egg. The eggs are so little. They're like smaller than a Cadbury egg. They're like the size of one of those.
Are they just tasty?
No, they're kind of taste like regular eggs, but a little bit different. And we were like, how did this happen? Also, I forgot to mention when he bought the 24 quail eggs, he bought them from the refrigerator at the Asian market. They were refrigerated. So I was like, there's no chance. No chance any of these eggs are going to hatch.
But somehow this bird survived.
Somehow there
Cold
is
temperature.
now a baby quail.
Oh my God. So did the kids know? Were you able to tell them?
No, we have no communication with the kids.
Good.
So now we have to figure out
How to take care of it.
how to take care of a baby quail.
What do you feed a baby quail?
So we didn't have anything. I mean, we put it in like we had to take Alex's container that she feeds her snake in and put like some paper towels in it. And then we did a research online and we got like a little lid from a container and put water, like warm water in it. And we had to hold it and dip its beak in the water to teach it how to drink. And then we put its shell in because they can eat a little bit from what's their shell, for like the first 24 hours. And then we'd put it back in. And every time we put it back in the container, it would just cry and cry and cry. Oh. So we had to hold it all the time, like all
that
day.
Must have made sex really hard.
It did, but we figured it out.
That's good.
I would just hold my hand
threesome.
over here so we could keep banging on all the surfaces.
Nice.
So we promised the kids while they were gone we would have sex everywhere.
Oh, good. I'm sure they love that.
They do. They want to know all the details. So I had to hold this bird all day long, and then it would go up on my neck and fall asleep.
Oh my God.
On my neck.
How cute.
Because that's like where it's warm. I think I can feel my breathing. So it just wanted to sleep on my neck all day.
Oh my God.
And then whenever it would go to Sven, it kept trying to eat the pills off of his t-shirt. So we were like, we got to
pills,
like the pilling, you know,
the
shirt's
pilling.
pill.
Got it.
So we were like, we have to get this bird food because it said like, they won't be ready to eat for like 24 to 48 hours.
Okay,
they just will eat the whatever's in their little shell. Okay, and they're just gonna sleep. And this bird was jumping around everywhere. It was like jumping off of me and jumping on his shirt. And I was like,
he's trying to stay warm.
How long has this bird been alive in that thing? And we just didn't hear it. So he went out to like 3 different pet stores. He got like a heat lamp and he got a thermometer and we had like a glass aquarium in our garage from a frog or some other, we've had a million animals. So he cleaned that out and he put bedding in it and he bought mealworms.
Okay.
Because he had ordered, you have to feed them this quail diet, like it's bird food, but it's specially for quails. But it wasn't going to come until today. And we were like, oh my God, it's going to die. It's going to die. So we like crumbled it all up and I had to like teach it how to eat in my hand.
Oh my God, you're a mommy.
So it was like eating in my hand. And then it finally figured out how to eat. So we like kept it alive through the night. And then this morning we were like, is it going to be alive?
Yeah.
Is it going to, what if it's dead?
Yeah.
It was alive. And stronger than ever. Like when we put our hand in to try to pick it up, it just popped out of our hand and it was like jumping. So when we tried to hold it, it was like, I feel like this bird is a superhero.
So you need to buy a pen.
It seems.
Do quails fly?
Yes, they do. So I didn't know that. And then it says they won't for a while, but when we get this, not just a chicken house, apparently, we have to enclose our back area with a top so they can't just fly.
Or just let it go because maybe it wants to go fly because that's what birds do.
I know, but it's not in, what's the word? It's not.
Oh, it's not native.
It's not native to California because they do have native California quails, but I think we have Japanese quails. We don't know which quail we have.
They're tougher, I guess. They can sustain.
They can be refrigerated.
Yeah.
They're cryogenic.
Holy shit. Well, we should take a break.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we'll learn something.
Oh.
We'll learn how to survive something.
What is it going to be?
We'll find out when we get back.
Imagine the softest sheets you've ever felt. Now imagine them getting even softer over time. That's what you'll feel with Boll & Branch's best-selling signature sheets in 100% organic cotton. In a recent customer survey, 96% replied that Boll & Branch sheets get softer with every wash. Start getting your best night's sleep in sheets that get softer and softer for years to come. Try their sheets with a 30-night guarantee. Plus, get 15% off with your first order at bollandbranch.com. Code WONDERY15. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
And we're back with Canva Presents Secret Sounds Work Edition. Caller, guess this sound.
It's a mouse click.
So close. That's actually publishing a website with Canva Docs. Next caller.
Definitely a mouse click.
Nice try. It was sorting 100 sticky notes with a Canva whiteboard. We also would have accepted resizing a Canva video into 10 different sizes.
What? No way.
Yes way. One click can go a long way. Love your work at canva.com.
Welcome back.
Hey, everybody.
How was your break?
Fabulous.
You should have a live cam on the bird. So you could
That's a good idea.
chart how George is doing.
That's a great idea.
And there's no way for Mandy to get into the aquarium?
No. Well, Mandy's outside right now.
Okay.
And then once I'm home, I'll let Mandy back in.
Okay.
And then I can keep an eye on things.
Yeah.
But yes, we'll have to figure that out because Mandy does not have like a bird interest that we know of.
Right.
As far as when he's outside.
Oh, okay.
He never goes after birds.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to care about birds. He only seems to care about lizards.
Oh.
And in our house, spiders.
Oh.
I'm very happy
That's
about.
good.
And mosquitoes. Like
Right.
any insects, he's like, I'm going to kill it.
Right.
I'm going to eat it.
Well, maybe they'll become friends. We'll see.
I would love that.
Are you ready to learn how to survive something?
I would like to survive it, yes.
Okay. Today we're going to learn how to survive. It's very sexy. Are you ready? Sepsis.
Ooh, yeah. I think I did that last night with my husband. I might not know what sepsis is.
That's when you have sex while holding a bird.
Oh. Okay. I survived it.
So that's all. That's it. We're done.
Oh, okay.
See you next time.
Bye.
Remain calm.
Sepsis is a life-threatening medical emergency caused by your body's overwhelming response to an infection.
Oh.
Which reminds me of anaphylactic shock.
Yes.
It's like your body responding to the allergen, but this
Yes.
is an infection. Without urgent treatment, it can lead to tissue damage, organ failure, and death. Sepsis is your body's extreme reaction to an infection. Okay, I basically just said that. Sometimes your immune system stops fighting the infection and starts damaging your normal tissues
Yeah.
and organs, leading to widespread inflammation throughout your body.
Your body's like, you know what? I'm sick of this.
Yes.
Now I'm turning on you.
Yes.
It's your fault.
That's right. At the same time, an abnormal chain reaction in your clotting system can cause blood clots to form in your blood vessels.
No.
This reduces blood flow to the different organs of your body and can cause significant damage or even failure. What are the 3 stages of sepsis? Denial. Once again, just
Yes.
like last week.
Vidi, Vini, Vici.
That's right. Healthcare providers used to organize sepsis into 3 stages: sepsis, severe sepsis, and septic shock. Now they identify the condition on a more fluid scale because they're woke.
They are.
They're woke scientists, healthcare providers.
It's all a continuum, guys.
Yeah, it's all spectrum.
Sepsis is all a continuum.
Yeah. This scale, we're all born a little bit septic.
Yep.
It's just how much septic are you?
Yeah. I mean, you just have to be more comfortable with being septic.
Right. This scale ranges from infection and bacterium, which is bacteria in your bloodstream, to sepsis and septic shock, which can lead to dysfunction of multiple organs and even death. Who does sepsis affect? Sepsis can affect anyone, but people with any kind of infection, especially bacterium, are at a particularly high risk. Other people who are at high risk include people older than 65, newborns and infants, and pregnant people. People with medical conditions such as diabetes, obesity, cancer, and kidney disease. People with weakened immune systems. People who are in the hospital for other medical reasons. I think that's how a lot of people get sepsis.
It feels like that thing where you go into the hospital for something else and then
You somehow get sepsis.
you get sepsis. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like the hospital is a good place to be.
I know. I don't understand why that is. People with severe injuries, such as large burns or wounds. People with catheters, IVs, or breathing tubes. What are the symptoms of sepsis? Sepsis can affect many different areas of your body, so there are many possible symptoms. Page turn. If an infection such as blood poisoning, which is septicemia, triggered your condition, you may develop a sepsis rash on your skin. The rash makes your skin appear red and discolored. You may see small dark red spots on your skin. Other common sepsis symptoms include urinary issues, such as reduced urination or an urge to urinate. Maybe I have sepsis.
You have sepsis.
I have sepsis.
You've been in denial for so long about it. You could have just accepted your sepsis.
I have long sepsis.
It's more likely every time you get sepsis.
I know. Low energy weakness.
Yep.
Fast heart rate, only when I do caffeine mismanagement. Low blood pressure, fever or hypothermia, shaking or chills, warm or clammy sweaty skin, confusion or agitation, hyperventilation, rapid breathing or shortness of breath, extreme pain or discomfort.
I mean,
you have that one.
Yeah.
I had that watching Company.
You did. You were getting septic.
How common is sepsis? There are differences in sepsis rates among different demographic groups. Sepsis is more common among older adults, with incidence increasing with each year after the age of 65 years old.
Oh, man. Don't be over 65, I think, is the lesson.
Yeah, just don't.
For so many reasons.
What causes sepsis? Bacterial infections are one of the most common causes of sepsis. Fungal, parasitic, and viral infections are also potential.
Wear like the flip-flops when you go to the pool.
Oh,
right?
so you don't get fungus?
Yeah, don't shower at the pool. You know, like when you go to the gym? That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Don't shower at the pool. When you go to the gym,
wear flip-flops
into
the
the shower.
shower.
Flip-flops into the shower.
Yeah.
Don't get that fungus on your feet. Garen's like, I have no idea what you're even saying right now.
He's like, gyms have showers?
Gyms?
What's a gym?
Who's Jim?
Who's Jim? Why am I going
Whose
there?
pool are we going
why
to?
does he have fungus? You can get, I think... The only time I ever used a shower at the gym was when we worked together at the Dish.
Oh,
and
right.
I would go to the gym in the morning, so I would shower, and I believe I did wear flip-flops.
I never saw the inside of that gym.
Oh.
Because I would never get to work that early.
Yeah, well, I had to bring Oliver to preschool.
Yes.
So it worked out perfectly.
You were the only one with a child.
I was the only one with the child, yeah.
The rest of us were like, what is she doing?
Exactly.
How is she so early?
I think I was the only one even married.
You were the only grown up.
I was.
By the way, I genuinely enjoyed that show, The Dish.
Oh, that's so
watched
sweet.
it all
Thank
the time.
you. Can you
loved
believe you're sitting here with two of the writers?
It's insane.
Can you believe it?
Insanity.
Do you feel so starstruck right now?
Oh my God.
Every day.
Ask us anything.
Yes.
We won't remember. It's been a long time.
Do you know we were on the show?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we were
actually.
on the show a few
We were
times.
on the show. Every time I was on, I blew it. Because I was so
Me too.
nervous. I was so nervous. No, you didn't. You didn't. You
I
were great.
remember being very nervous and being like, you used to do this professionally. Why can you not fucking memorize one line? I remember being like...
I was just always so stressed
out of practice.
because of Ed and feeling like I was going to get yelled at. And
Ed was one of our producers, or our producer.
And now I'm just like, ugh, why did you ever give a shit and didn't you just have fun? Like,
Yeah.
I hate that feeling of regret of not just enjoying myself because...
But did you enjoy yourself, or was it just on the on-camera stuff?
Oh, just the on-camera stuff.
okay.
But I think like now I would enjoy it because I
Yes.
don't give a shit.
Of course.
But then I was also just like, be funny, don't get fired, do your best. You're not the funniest one here. Everyone's funnier than you. Like I had so many hangups
That's so
about
crazy.
feeling like I wasn't not the best, but because I never worried about that. It was more just like wanting to make sure I was doing a good job.
You were.
Oh, thanks.
You lasted. Other people were canned.
Yeah, I lasted.
You were never canned.
I wish we were still doing...
Speaking of that,
What?
Tony, who we worked with on that
Yes.
show, he had sepsis.
He did.
Yes, I remember this. I don't.
When we were there?
I can't remember. I think it was before, but I remember him telling us about it and being like, "Holy shit!" And it was at. I believe he got it at the hospital.
I don't
And I remember him
that.
explaining it and being like horrified because I had never really known what that was before.
What happened to Tony? Where is he?
Well, I think he does a lot of stand up.
Does
I
he?
guess. I don't know. He was he was Joan Rivers' like right hand man.
I remember
until her death, I guess.
Yes.
So I think I don't know. He pops up every once in a while.
What
I
if
think
he
does
inherited
shows.
everything?
Oh
She left
my
him everything.
God. Melissa can fuck right off.
Yeah.
He left her everything.
Yeah.
And the grandson. No, she loved that grandson so much.
Well, it was a good time. And it wasn't a long time, but it was a good time.
Yeah. It was a long time for me because I was on it the whole time. But
Yes. Well, it was the longest time I was ever on one show.
same. Same. Okay. The infection leading to sepsis can start in many different parts of the body. Common sites and types of infections that can lead to sepsis include, oh God, infections involving your lungs, such as pneumonia, urinary tract infections,
those,
or especially
I've had those.
What, urinary tract infections?
Yes.
UTIs?
So painful. You've had them, right?
No,
Oh my God. You're so lucky.
I know.
I had I won't get into it. It's too
Cranberry
graphic.
juice? Is that a
No,
real
I was just
thing?
going to say you have chunks of blood coming through your
Are you serious?
pee hole. Yeah.
And is that what the pain's from?
I had to get I had a seizure. I was in so much pain.
Oh my God.
I had to because it can turn into a kidney infection.
Yeah.
I had to get on really intense antibiotics.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You've been through the ringer.
Yeah. This girl's worn out.
It sounds like a Shania Twain song.
Oh my God.
This girl's worn out.
Should I send that to her?
Yes, I think so.
I've missed my calling.
So you're Brad Pitt. That horrible song is the worst song that's ever been.
I would totally go see her live.
You would? It would probably be a fun show.
It would be so fun.
Ooh, here's another way you can get it. Infection of your appendix, appendicitis, bowel problems, infections in your abdominal cavity.
Oh, no, not
which
a
is
cavity.
Called peritonitis, which does sound like something that would be in your mouth.
It does.
And gallbladder or liver infections. Skin. Bacteria can enter your skin through wounds, inflammation, or openings made with catheters and IVs. That's how you get it, right? In the hospital.
Yeah, that's how you get it.
Conditions such as cellulitis, which I've got up and down my legs.
What is it?
No, I was just joking. Cellulitis.
Got it.
Inflammation of your skin's connective tissue. How is sepsis diagnosed? It's very important to quickly identify people with infections that may go on to develop sepsis. There are no strict criteria to diagnose sepsis. That's why providers use a combination of findings from a physical exam, lab tests, x-rays, and other tests to identify the infection, blood cultures, and diagnose sepsis. Providers may sometimes suspect sepsis at bedside using the set of sepsis criteria, a tool called Quick Sequential Organ Failure Assessment, or QSOFA.
Sounds like a fun BuzzFeed quiz.
Yes.
They make great burritos at QSOFA. I don't know.
I was going to make a JD Vance joke, but I like yours better.
Yeah, cut mine out too. Garen for the win.
Yeah. You may have sepsis if you have confirmed or probable infection in at least two of the following criteria. Okay, wait. So you may have sepsis if you have probable infection, not confection.
Confection
that would be something nice.
It's nice. Yeah, I want that.
And at least two of the following criteria. Low blood pressure, less than 100 millimeters of mercury. High respiratory rate, faster than 22 breaths per minute. And Glasgow Coma Scale.
Oh, I've heard. We talked about this on a different episode.
Yes, we did.
I don't remember which one, but how to survive Glasgow comas.
Yeah, how to survive Scotland. A score of 15 or less on the Glasgow Coma Scale, which determines your level of consciousness.
Okay.
Providers will request a number of additional tests to identify your infection and any organ damage or dysfunction. These tests include blood tests, blood oxygen level, urine tests, imaging tests. How do you treat sepsis, you're wondering?
Gently.
Yep. Sepsis treatment needs to begin immediately. The most important concern in sepsis protocol is a quick diagnosis and prompt treatment. If your provider diagnoses you with sepsis, they'll usually place you in the intensive care unit of the hospital or for special treatment.
Yeah, they don't want you around all the Gen Pops.
Right. You may receive, I thought you were going to say around all the Gentiles, and I was like, I don't know why that would make a difference.
All of a sudden, I'm just anti-Semitic.
We're extra susceptible to.
Yeah.
Well, they're Jewish, right? If they're getting sepsis.
That's right.
What, Kris? What, Kris?
It's the questioning yourself.
Oh my God. You may receive the following treatment for sepsis: antibiotics, IV fluids, vasopressor medications.
Oh.
Vasopressors tighten blood vessels. In some cases, you may need them to reach an adequate blood pressure.
Okay.
Appropriate supportive care. If organ failures occur, you'll need other sepsis treatments such as dialysis for kidney failure or mechanical ventilation for respiratory failure, and surgery. You may need surgery to remove damaged tissue.
Oh.
How can I help prevent sepsis?
Please tell me. I don't want it.
Practicing good hygiene, including hand washing, keeping cuts and wounds clean and keeping them covered until healed, keeping up to date on recommended vaccines, getting routine medical care for chronic conditions, and getting medical attention immediately if you suspect an infection. What is the outlook for sepsis? With quick diagnosis and treatment, many people with mild sepsis survive. Without treatment, most people with more serious stages of sepsis will die.
Oh, okay. So good to know.
Even with treatment, 30 to 40% of people with septic shock, the most severe stage of sepsis, will die.
That's alarming.
How long does it take to die from sepsis? Septic shock can cause death in as little as 12 hours.
I mean, I guess if you're going to die, make it fast.
I guess so.
I mean, if I'm in septic shock, why dilly-dally?
Right.
Let's get this show on the road.
That's right. Many people die in the months and years after surviving sepsis, but researchers don't know if the increased risk of death is due to previously having sepsis or having an underlying health condition. So
that's tricky.
Causal or
yeah.
Because of this and other factors, research studies show varying rates of life expectancy after sepsis. Those rates range widely, but typically show that more than half of all sepsis survivors will die within 5 years.
Whoa. Don't get sepsis.
No. What are the long-term complications? With prompt treatment, many people with sepsis recover completely and return to leading normal lives. But others may experience long-term effects such as insomnia, nightmares or hallucinations, panic attacks, joint and muscle pain. I don't know why you'd have nightmares, and that's weird. Decreased cognitive functioning, organ failure. You're also at higher risk of developing sepsis again. So make sure to have new infections treated immediately.
Don't get new infections and don't need anything at the hospital.
What will happen when I get home? You'll need to give your body, mind, and soul time to recover. When you get home, you may experience some unpleasant symptoms like fatigue and weakness, shortness of breath, body aches and pains, trouble moving around and sleeping, lack of appetite and or weight loss, dry, itchy skin, brittle hair. I know. Brittle nails, hair loss.
Come on, sepsis, give me a break.
You may also have mental and emotional effects such as wanting to be alone, flashbacks.
What?
Of what? Like the Vietnam War?
Yeah.
Just things that you never even experienced.
Right. Poor concentration, anxiety and or depression, frustration and anger and confusion.
I think I have sepsis.
You do?
Since I
because
was
you want to be home?
an early teenager.
Your parents didn't tell you that you had sepsis.
Right. Okay. Are you ready for a story?
Please.
Okay. So this is from a German woman. Heike's, would you say Heike? I don't know what her name is. Heike?
I don't know. How's it spelled?
Heike.
Heck.
Heck's sepsis story. My body, the mystery.
Heike? I'd say Heike.
This is, by the way, from I just want to tell you, this is an excerpt from her book.
Yes.
Surviving Sepsis, which in the original German is called Überlebenskrebs-Sepsis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nicely done.
Thank you. When I was 16, I was diagnosed with stage 3A Hodgkin's disease. What followed was surgery, chemotherapy, and radiotherapy. As part of the treatment, my spleen had to be removed, as well as many lymph nodes. I knew I didn't have a strong immune system and should take care of myself. The longer I was well, the less I believed that something bad could happen to me. And I had already cheated death once. After being on short-time work, I'm guessing that means part-time work, in 2020 and 2021 due to the coronavirus pandemic, I decided to reorganize my professional life. I quit my job then and got another one on a Swiss mountain pasture for 9 weeks.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
It does, right? I plan to do a lateral entry to... again, this German translation. I plan to do a lateral entry to work in a cheese dairy on a small farm as milking cows and making cheese in the seclusion of the mountains. It had always been a childhood dream.
It sounds idyllic, but milking cows doesn't sound that easy or relaxing.
No, and also that's a pretty specific and weird childhood dream.
It really is. She probably read Heidi or something.
Yes.
You know, and was like, this sounds good. And then you get there. It's like hiking in the Alps with a donkey.
Right. It's just like that.
You think it's going to be good.
You have this romanticized version.
And then you get there and you have ticks coming out of your bra.
Right. You get shit on by
donkey shit's coming in your face.
The hut is situated at around 1,800 meters with a fantastic panorama. Running water and electricity is for milking and making cheese only.
Oh.
To keep the hut warm, you have to chop wood and always keep the heating oven running.
Hikey.
For July, the weather was too wet and too cold. milking and cheese making were shared between me and the Alpine farmer. What else was shared between her and the Alpine? By the way, this sounds like a fucking nightmare to me. This does not sound like fun.
It doesn't sound like she's the right person for this.
Well, yeah.
Based on her immune system.
Right. It was after 4 weeks on the Alpine pasture that I suddenly developed severe swallowing problems on a Thursday morning after milking the cows. I couldn't eat or drink anything at breakfast. Despite the... What?
I just had this thought that was she milking the cows with her mouth?
That's why she couldn't eat or drink? That's so gross.
I know, I'm
Jesus
sorry.
Christ.
I'm sorry.
Despite the swallowing problems...
Well...
So despite the swallowing problems, I did some alpine meadow maintenance during the day, and in the evening, back in the barn milking, wrapped up in warm cloths, but still freezing.
Oh, no.
This is when the farmer sent me straight to bed with 2 hot water bottles, throat lozenges, and a scarf. I felt like I wore my entire wardrobe in bed so I wouldn't freeze. On Friday, the swallowing was just as bad, and I remember being surprised that the pain was just as intense. Then there were the night chills. I spent all Friday in bed and didn't eat or drink anything. The Alpine farmer checked on me from time to time, and we both hoped I'd get better if I just rested enough. When I wasn't feeling better on Saturday, we considered driving down to the valley in the afternoon, with the nearest hospital being 2 hours away. At one point, I wanted to get up to fire up the heating oven when I realized that my upper left arm was hurting, and I could no longer stand on my left leg. I dragged myself on all fours into the next room to the oven, and then dragged myself back to bed completely exhausted.
No.
I don't know at what time I fell asleep again and what happened next. I only know from the narrative. When the farmer and the visitor who had come, sounds like the beginning of a joke, had come to the pasture on Friday, who had come to the pasture on Friday, decided to take me to the hospital on Saturday, I was already unconscious with a change of character. That is why they called the Swiss Air Rescue Service Rega in the evening, which flew me by helicopter to the cantonal hospital in Lucerne. In the shock room, that's where they tell you the ending to all the M. Night Shyamalan movies. The doctors immediately took care of me, contacted my husband. What?
Okay.
There's a lot going on.
She left her husband for 8 weeks. We didn't know about this husband. This is crazy.
So European.
I'm picturing it like The Fall or Anatomy of a Fall.
Yes.
As I was unresponsive and performed one exclusion procedure after another. The Rega doctor had admitted me to the hospital with suspected sepsis, among other things, but as my results were inconclusive, the search had to be continued. I don't know much about the 5 days in intensive care, just scraps of memory. On day 6, I was transferred to the cardiology ward. For a long time, I didn't understand what had happened or what was going on with me. It wasn't because of the doctors, but because my head couldn't take it in. It turns out I had caught Streptococcus pyogenes on the mountain pasture. This caused inflammation of the aorta and mitral valve. The embolisms spreading through the body caused severe strokes and necrosis on the left upper arm, the left hip, the fingers, and both feet.
Necrosis.
I think necrosis is like...
Isn't that
the
death
rotting
of tissue?
Skin. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
To save the massive necrosis on both feet and both lower legs, the feet and knees were operated on and flushed 3 times within 1.5 weeks. Many examinations, such as MRIs, CTs, and heart echoes, were carried out, which I can no longer remember. I was given antibiotics and strong painkillers for 4 weeks and had to lie in bed for 5 weeks.
Whoa.
It was only when the levels of... This is supposed to be her, break.
Yeah, yeah.
It was only when the levels of inflammation were back in the normal range and the doctors were able to justify it that an ambulance took me back to a clinic in Munich. There I stayed for another 2 weeks for observation and further wound checks, followed by 7.5 weeks of rehab, IRENA program physiotherapy and psychotherapy, stays in the pain clinic, and constant checkups with various doctors. I had further operations of both feet in December 2022 and October 2023. Due to the many necrosis scars and surgeries, as well as being in a cast for so long, I have to relearn everything that has to do with my feet. Everything. Things that everyone else does so naturally are a mental effort for me. Nothing happens automatically. With everything I do comes pain, numbness, and tightness in my toes, ankles, and feet. Also, my cardiac output is reduced, and I have been put on a cardio training program designed specifically for me. Every day, I'm thankful to be able to stand on my feet and walk. I'm thankful for my life and my many helping hands that have made it possible. I never considered sepsis an issue, even though it's on my emergency asplenia pass. That's a thing where if you have a missing spleen or
Okay.
that you have it's called a passport, and I don't.
It's like a higher risk if you don't have a spleen.
I guess
to happen.
Right. It has just not been on my radar. But now I ask myself questions like, how can I protect myself? How can I strengthen the immune system? How can I trust my body again? How can I become mentally stronger? I hope my book, Überlebenskampf Sepsis, will reach the general public and that the topic of sepsis will become more visible and come out of its shadowy existence.
How would it not with that title?
I mean, it's so
Bestseller.
catchy. Yeah.
It's Eat, Pray, Love.
Yeah.
It's wild that, I mean, that's so terrible that she has to go through this. And for so many years, we'll be dealing with this probably for her whole life. But like, it sounds like it started as a sore throat.
Yeah, I
Like
know. It's crazy.
like a strep
swallowing
kind of throat situation that could become a thing that
I mean, I'm guessing her
rots
whole immune system was weakened because of her
Hodgkin's
Hodgkin's,
earlier.
yeah.
God. People deal with such incredibly harrowing circumstances.
Yeah, I think the moral is that manual physical labor is not the answer to a relaxing life.
Well, not for her.
I can see where you would think that would be a really fun trip.
Me?
Yeah, you especially. But then I think by day 3, you'd be like, I get it. Milking cows.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm done.
That's not on my bucket list. I
Yeah.
will say that I do not have the interest to go on a cheese farm.
No.
And do farm work. Like,
No.
I would stay on a farm
Yeah.
that I didn't have.
Lots of animals.
Because I like to be around the animals. I wouldn't want to be, because I like the idea of a farm stay, like we've looked into it, but I don't want to be, I'm going to stay on a farm because I want to get up at like 4:30 and go do farm stuff.
No.
Like,
So what is involved in a farm stay?
there are different ways you can do it, I think. Like, you can
What's
have
the bougie way to do it?
the bougie way is like you're on a farm and you can, I actually don't really know, because whenever I've looked into it, it's already too late and they're already all booked.
Oh, okay.
But I think you can stay on a farm and just lodge and
Okay.
interact with animals, and like you can eat the good food from the farm,
Right.
and there's like bike trails, and you can
Yeah.
have your like daytime adventures of going and doing what you want, and you
Yeah.
can sort of
But there are probably stays where it's like you basically are cosplaying farming.
working farm.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. And it's like the kids loved it. They collect. I mean,
Right.
the kids have gotten to do that in a sense where it's like when we were in Spain, they got to go down and collect the eggs every morning from the chickens because there
Right.
were chickens there. But
We did that in my grade school, believe it or not.
that's incredible.
My grade school right over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had chickens and we got to collect the eggs. And then they, I guess, accidentally maybe got some roosters.
Yes.
And so the neighbors were not happy about that.
Oh.
Who lived
Yeah.
in the apartments across the street.
because
They're so loud.
Start at 5 in the morning.
And
whatever.
people think they just cock-a-doodle-doo in the morning. They don't. They do it
Oh, is it
all
all day?
day long. We have somebody in our neighborhood has chickens and I think a rooster, and it's surprisingly not us.
It will be soon.
Yeah, I mean, just give us a couple weeks and we'll be the neighbors annoying.
I
Our
don't want to
neighbors.
add to your, burden.
Go ahead.
But I really feel like George needs a friend.
I mean,
I think you're going to have to find another. Can't you just buy a quail egg that you know has a chicken, a quail
you
in
can.
it?
You can order fertilized quail eggs.
Yeah.
But
Can you just order one?
I don't know about that. I mean, I feel like, we know Amazon has everything. So
Yeah.
what are the odds? Pretty high that it's going to have
Okay.
one fertilized quail egg you can order.
I just don't want George being all by herself.
I think we might just get another one hatching today or tomorrow. I mean, I'm going to keep you guys
Oh, okay.
posted.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, definitely.
Again, they weren't due to hatch until tomorrow, according to Benjamin's timeline.
Yeah, right.
Which, who knows how accurate that is. But
Yeah.
we could have one hatching anytime now,
Wow.
or 10.
You can buy quails from Amazon.
You're
Eggs
kidding.
or actual living quail?
Eggs.
Eggs that are fertilized.
Yep.
That's wild. Huh.
Isn't that?
And then would you still put them in the incubator? I guess you would, obviously, right?
Till they hatched.
But
yeah.
how do they stay warm while they're shipped?
I don't know. That's a good question. Does it say? I almost called you Benjamin. Does it say Benjamin?
No. Well, I mean, I haven't really. You can get 48 for $60.
Seems like a lot.
Oh,
Seems like a lot.
I
Cheap
don't.
little white one.
No, I don't need that many.
That's what the quail looks like.
I think they send them in.
But that's not what ours looks like. We have a different breed. We got to figure out which kind of. We got to probably go back to the Asian market, look at the box of eggs, so we know which quail we have.
Well, baby birds look. I said this the other day, and it was very profound.
Oh, I'm ready.
Baby birds look more different than from their adult version
Yes.
than any other species.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
When you look at a little baby chick and they're all
Yes.
cute and fluffy and yellow,
Yes.
it doesn't look like it's going to become a chicken.
Yes, you're right.
It's bizarre.
You're right. Let me see. Hold on one second. Because I think this one looks more, will look probably more based on what it looks like now. Maybe it's a common quail. Maybe more like that.
Yeah, those are the colors of your.
Because those are the colors of little George.
and that's what
right?
I would think a quail looked like.
Yeah.
Do people eat quail? Or am I thinking of squab? Oh,
They do eat
people
quail.
eat quail?
I've only had the eggs. I don't know that I've ever had an actual quail.
No, I certainly have not.
So
don't get sepsis.
don't get sepsis and
Don't order 48
quail
eggs.
Do you guys want to hear a sex story
Yes.
or not? Or do we need to stop? I don't know. It's up to you guys.
No, we can keep going and then we'll break and then we'll come back with what do we learn?
So this is around sex. So the kids going to summer camp, I was like, I got to talk to them about things could happen when they're at camp. Like somebody might try to kiss them or something, because they're at that age where kids are starting to do stuff.
Okay.
Their friends are getting girlfriends and all that. And
Wow.
that's happening, right?
Yeah.
They're
about to be 12, right?
They're about to be 12. They're going off to middle school. They have friends that have, I say dating, but it's really like they just text a girl. Like they'll have a friend that texts a girl every day.
And that's called dating.
And they're together. But like they
okay.
don't see each other really. It's not, because when we were kids, you'd see the other kids.
Yeah, and you'd hold hands.
You'd hold hands and stuff, but they're not really getting together as much because they don't leave their house as much.
Okay.
You know how it is now. So I was like, I should talk to them for their safety and also because all the when we went to the drop off. Furman, Donna was there.
You're kidding.
No, I saw her. It's like I don't know, 200 kids or something.
Amazing.
And all the parents. And I look over and I was like, I know that woman. How do I know her? She's so familiar.
She was just on our show.
I was like, oh wait, she was just on our show. So I went over and talked to her a little bit.
Oh, how sweet. So Milo,
one of them went.
Yeah.
The older one, I think. So we talked a little bit.
that's awesome.
So funny. But I was like, all the counselors are teens.
Yeah. Whoa.
So I'm
right.
like, you know what? This is a good chance to talk to the kids. So they slept together their last night before they left for camp because they wanted to share a bed to be closer to each other.
It's funny.
They're
Sweet.
so funny.
Yeah.
It's our last night together.
Are they going to the same camp?
Yeah, but they'll be
bunks or whatever?
separate. So I said, you guys are going off to camp, and I don't know how interested you guys are in romance or anything like that, but there might be kids there who are interested in you, and they might want stuff to happen. And maybe you guys aren't interested in that at all. And Benji goes, oh, I'm interested. And I was like, whoa.
Oh, my God.
And Alex was like, well, I mean, what do we... So let me back up a little. So I said, maybe somebody says, hey, what if we go for a walk and they want to go like walk behind a cabin with you or something and do stuff. And Benji goes, well, how much are we talking here?
Oh, my God. Amazing.
And Sven's just sitting beside me. I have no idea. He has no idea I'm going to have this conversation with them.
No.
And so I don't know where he thinks. He's just like quietly sitting next to me. And I go, well, I don't know. I go, like maybe they want to have a kiss or, something like that. And he's like, well, I'm okay with that. And Alex goes, I mean, I don't know. Maybe like a kiss on the cheek would be okay.
So sweet. Good.
Or just like holding hands. I go, okay, so what if they want to do more than that and you don't want to?
Right.
She says, well, I'll just say no. No, thank you. And I go, what if they're like kind of pushy though? And Benji's like, you just got to kick them in the balls.
Awesome. Love
Alex,
that.
you just got to kick them in the balls.
Love that.
I said, or vagina, like depending on who you're interested in. Because I'm trying to be like, I don't know for sure what everybody wants here.
Right.
Like, I think she
Well, they're keeping you on your toes.
They
those
are.
two.
Those two are keeping me on my toes. So then, and I said, don't feel like if like one of your friends, because Benji has friends going. I said, don't feel like if one of your friends is like, hey, we got to sneak over to the girls' cabin. Like, you don't have to do this. Don't feel like you don't be pressured.
Right.
You can say no to anything.
Good.
And it's totally fine. I don't want you being in a situation where you feel you have to say yes to something because somebody else wants to do it.
Right.
And I said, what if it's not a kid your age? I said, what if it's like one of the counselors? I said, I don't think this is going to happen. It's very unlikely. I go, but not all teenagers are great. And what if one of them, say Benji, you go fishing and one of the counselors, it's just you and one of the counselors, and they say like, I want to see your penis. Or like, can I show you my penis or something like that?
He's like, what camp did you sign me up for? Jesus Christ, woman. Did you do no vetting? What is this?
I sent you to perv camp.
Catholic priest camp? What's happening?
And Benji's like, what?
Little specific, Mom.
I mean, I just like, I don't think any of this is going to happen. But
no, it's funny because it seems specific to this camp, but it's of course an important conversation to have.
So then he was like, well, then I'll kick him in the balls, and I was like, good. I go, just whatever if anybody tries anything like that, you say to them, you say, I'll tell.
Right.
And you just get away, do whatever you need to do to get away, kick them, yell at them, make a really,
right.
and Alex goes, I'll just yell rape really loud. And I was like, whatever, fire, rape.
Oh, I can't wait to hear the stories they come back with. These two were kicked out because one of them was given green beans and they kicked them in the balls and yelled rape.
These two kids would not stop yelling rape whenever we tried to play Marco Polo.
Right, exactly.
What have you done to these two? And it's like, I don't want to scare them and make them think the world is a scary place, but I also don't want to not ever say anything.
Of course.
So it's trying to find this middle ground between like, the world is safe, you're safe, but also just in case,
right,
you should know this information.
Of course.
So apparently I have a very horny son who's ready for action.
Yeah.
Definitely kissing. And my daughter's ready for a peck on the cheek.
So cute.
So I'm very interested to see.
Can't wait to hear what happens.
I'm sure it's probably nothing like that.
Right.
But
you think you're sending them to the meatballs camp. It's like 1977.
Everything I learned about camp is from 80s movies.
Same.
And every camp counselor is going to be like a woman that works at Hooters, and she's going to be topless most of the time.
Right.
Did you warn them about undead serial killers?
Oh, that's another. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's not likely, but just in case.
Just in case.
You're by the lake.
We have aliens now. There might be
Camp
an
Crystal
undead serial
Lake.
killer.
I did send him to Camp Crystal Lake. A man might come out with like a weird thing on his head. It's like a mask.
Kick him in the balls. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Kick him in the balls. Yell, I'll tell. While he's bludgeoning you with an axe. Just say,
That's
I'll
how
tell.
Friday the 13th ends. I'll tell. Oh, okay. We're done.
So if anyone wants to correct my advice.
Oh my God, it's hysterical. No, it's smart. It's good.
I don't know.
I think it's good to have that kind of open dialogue with your kids.
Yeah.
I think you're
just stumbling my way through this, like
We all
awkwardly.
are.
It's so
all are.
such an unknown territory,
crazy.
guys.
All right. Well, we will be right back with what did we learn today?
This episode is sponsored by AutoTrader. There's a good chance you're driving right now. Look around. Safely. What do you see? Cars. Lots of them. And guess what? They're probably on AutoTrader. Whether you're into timeless classics or the latest trends. Did somebody say solar-powered, eco-friendly, vegan, leather-wrapped, aromatherapy-scented, disco ball-equipped, self-driving car? If you see it on the road, you can likely find it on AutoTrader. Big cars, small cars, blue cars, new cars, used cars, electric cars, and one day, maybe even flying cars. With millions to choose from, buying a car becomes a whole lot easier. See it, find it, AutoTrader. Find your next car on autotrader.com.
This podcast is brought to you by eHarmony, the dating app to find someone you can be yourself with. Why doesn't eHarmony allow copy and paste in first messages? Because you are unique, and your conversations should reflect that. eHarmony wants you to find someone who will get you. How are you going to know who gets you if people send you the same generic conversation starters they message everyone else? Conversations that actually help you get to know each other. Imagine that. Get who gets you on eHarmony. Sign up today.
Kristine,
Danielle,
are you ready to learn what we learned today?
please.
The Specialist is a 1994 American action thriller film directed by Luis Llosa and starring Sylvester Stallone, Sharon Stone, James Woods, Eric Roberts, and Rod Steiger. It is loosely based on the Specialist series of novels by John Shirley. Did we talk about this?
God, sounds like there's a lot of assholes in that movie.
Yes, there are.
Wait, what?
We were just looking for something called The Specialist earlier.
In The Mentalist, Simon Baker stars as a famous psychic who outs himself as a fake and starts working as a consultant for the California Bureau of Investigation so he can find Red John, the madman who killed his wife and daughter. I don't understand what any of that means.
Same.
NBC News medical drama Brilliant Minds. This is the one I was talking about?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Follows revolutionary, larger-than-life neurologist Oliver Wolf, Zachary Quinto, and his team of interns as they explore the last great frontier, the human mind, while also grappling with their own relationships and mental health. The cases in the show are inspired by Dr. Oliver Wolf Sacks' real-life brain disorder research and treatment, some of which he chronicled in his nonfiction books, The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat.
I like that book.
I have heard of that.
Yeah.
And An Anthropologist on Mars. Before this series, which was announced in May, the most well-known adaptation of Dr. Sacks' work was the 1990 Academy Award-winning nominated film Awakenings,
Yes.
starring Robin Williams as Dr. Malcolm Sayer, who was modeled on Sacks. It is scheduled to premiere on September 23rd, 2024. I didn't realize that that movie was based on a real thing.
Well, Dr. Oliver Sacks is interesting in I think that is an interesting book, but I doubt the show is good. But maybe I'm wrong.
I've never heard of it until today.
They changed his name from Oliver Wolf Sacks to Oliver Wolf. Okay.
That sounds
interesting.
Typical.
Although most folks don't consider them past their usefulness for eggs and meat, quail can actually make wonderful pets. They're tameable, friendly, and sometimes even snuggly.
They are snuggly.
Their small size makes them much more manageable than something like a chicken. They are ground-dwelling birds that enjoy hiding, dust baths, and foraging for food.
Cute.
Quails can be kept indoors or outdoors, but they should be protected from extreme temperatures and other pets. They can also be messy, especially indoors, as they like to dig in the soil and create dust.
Okay, well, these are going to be outdoor quails.
The most common, but it's so hot where you live. Is that going to be okay?
Well, I mean, not all year. They can be protected from the temperature. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. The most common domesticated type of quail is the Coturnix quail, also known as the Japanese quail.
Oh, okay.
The Glasgow Coma Scale is a clinical scale used to reliably measure a person's level of consciousness after a brain injury.
So that's when we talked about it, the TBA?
Oh, yeah. Traumatic brain injury.
Yes. That was that episode.
Basically, anything and everything could be a symptom for sepsis. Good luck if you're a hypochondriac. Well, have a great week, everybody.
Will do. I mean, you know me. I'm just going to be mothering my quail and
so
having
sexy.
So much sex.
Yes.
With the quail. Not with the quail, with
but
the quail
in
in
the
my
room.
hand.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Quails love that.
And until next time,
Remain calm.